it's Amy. I am actually I decided I wanted to make this website and videos because I was actually looking for something on what to expect after a mastectomy, and the only thing that came up on YouTube was people that had, I'm gonna put, this is number 1 up here so I'll know when I put these in sequence that this is number 1. For people that that were having a mastectomy, what to expect. It was this doctor from Mayo Clinic talking, and it was so boring, and it wasn't the actual person that had the mastectomy. So I didn't see it like immediately before, immediately after. What do you do? What do you expect? And so when I got diagnosed as having cancer, the first person that I called was of course, my husband. And the second person I called was my sister. And the next person that I called was a friend of mine, Pam Spiegel, who had breast cancer. She was diagnosed in 2018, and basically all of her recovery took place during 2019. So she was the next person that I called. And so I wanted to make this video to help people who have questions or concerns. Everybody's breast cancer is different though, but at least I could share my experience with you. And as the Bible says, comfort others with the comfort with which you have been comforted. So that is why I'm making this video series and the Facebook page. And also so that I don't have to text individual people multiple times. And you can see me, and you probably won't see me with makeup on again for a little while because I'll be in the bed. So, at least not after today. So that's it for now. So hi, so this is my first video I'm making a video diary, I guess we call it, of my cancer treatment. And so initially this one is for people who haven't, mainly for people who don't know what's going on yet. And I know I've told quite a few people, but not everyone that's in my circle of friends. So I'll let you know the background right now. We are actually on our way to have my sentinel node injection. They're going to take a few lymph nodes out to make sure that they are not, there's no cancer in them. So so far at this point, the prognosis is good. So I was looking back over my videos that I made in the car on the way to my sentinel node injection appointment, and realized that apparently my camera just cut off a bunch of things that I was saying. One of the things that I was telling about was when I got my original diagnosis, and it had been 4 years since I had my last mammogram, and I had my last mammogram in 2016, which was fine. I've had trouble with my, and a little caution here too, because guys or kids, I'm going to be talking about the tatas, and if you don't want to hear about it, you might not want to watch. But anyway, it won't be too much or too graphic. But anyhow, my right breast has always had, well, in both my breasts, I have fibrocystic disease or dense breast tissue. And my right breast particularly has been a problem for years. And I would always have to have a diagnostic mammogram. What that means is from the beginning, you don't go to have a regular mammogram. You have one that is in, with magnified, I don't know, it was, can't think of the word that they use to, plates, magnified plates for the mammogram. I don't know how long I've been having those diagnostic mammograms, but I would always go for a diagnostic, and then the person doing the radiation would come back, or the mammogram would come back in and say, doctor needs to see some more shots of this particular side, and then they would come back in after that and say, now we need to take you to have a sonogram. And then the doctor would come in and want to look at the sonogram. That's just the way that it's been since I don't know how many years. I had in 2004, I had a needle biopsy, which, a needle loke biopsy, which came back that I had atypical hyperplasia. And in 2009, I had a cyst aspiration. And but I didn't have any irregular or any changes in my mammogram in 2016 when I had the last one. But I was not surprised, actually, that I had some changes this time, because I've been perimenopausal for a couple of years and had a lot of weird hormonal things. One thing in particular was my breasts would be really sore. Not that breast soreness is an indication of, you know, it's not an indication of breast cancer, but it isn't, to me, I felt like it was an indication of changes, that I was going through changes. So not just soreness, just extreme soreness, extreme breast soreness. And I can get into more detail about that later. But anyway, so what happened was the usual routine. And when the radiologist finally came in and looked at the sonogram, he said, yes, this looks like it's cancer. And so I said, well, is it like, what percent is it that there's cancer? And he said, there's a 50-50 chance that it's cancer. And actually, I think I've told this already. So I'll stop here. Okay, so I think my phone cut me off. I don't know exactly where. But anyway, so as I was saying, they have to make a magnified mammogram first, and then the doctor, and this has been the way it's always been for me for years. The doctor goes back and looks at the magnified mammogram, and then they come in and they say, well, we're going to do the doctor wants us to do a sonogram, so they do a sonogram, and then the doctor comes back in and wants to do the sonogram, him or herself, the radiologist at that point. And usually the radiologist says, you know, in the past, well, one time I had to have a cyst aspiration. That was in 2009, just to check that there was nothing that was cancerous or precancerous in that. But since the last one I had was in 2016, and they didn't see anything. But this time there were changes, and the doctor told me that what he said to me, he said, it looks like it could be cancer. And I said, well, based on us, you know, what's your percentage, like 50-50 that it's cancer? And he said, no, it's like 95% it's cancer. That's what he said to me. So, but like I said, I wasn't super surprised. I was expecting it, kind of. Like I said, because I'd had so many, sorry for the bouncing, perimenopausal changes. And so we scheduled a biopsy for the, that was Monday, March the 1st. And we scheduled a biopsy for, I believe it was Wednesday. And so that's how it went for the diagnosis, the initial diagnosis part of it. I have gone to the Hill Breast Center at Baptist for years, ever since we've been here in Jacksonville, since 2001 for sure, probably before that. But I was having mammograms for a long time because my mother had breast cancer, even though she was in her 60s. But I felt lumps in my breast and kind of got freaked out, so I've been having my breast examined for quite a while. And I had, like I said, in 2004, I had atypical hyperplasia, which is basically precancerous. So that was my initial diagnosis. And so the next thing, I'm going to continue in a minute with what happened at the biopsy. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions and concerns or anything like that.